He's going to go. I don't care. You know, I don't care if Edwards did go to the Redskins, all that. No. Kentucky had the worst quarterbacking in the SEC last year. State where I guess his best hope is to be the Buckeyes version of Austin Appleby. There's a name right there that should, there's, wait a minute, I can't believe that's only, well, he's also kind of in the who transferred to Florida and basically was the quarterback of note after an injury in 2016 when the Gators won their last division championship. So that's that. There are still no ETSU football players that have signed with an NFL squad. No Justin Pike, no Dylan Weigel, no J.J. German. Frankly, I'm a little surprised. I really am. I would have thought one of those guys would have gotten just an invite. I'm not going to say they're going to make the NFL. I would have thought that one of them would have... Brandon Colton got an invite for crying out loud in 20... On the going out to make it there, but at least you're going to camp. You got a chance to make it, whereas otherwise you play pro football. The other leagues, and there will be an XFL, that looks good. I had a tryout, with the NFL. I didn't quite make it, but I had a tryout, this sort of thing. Other SoCon team, again, as we speak, no ETSU. Zach Irvin's Elon Phoenix, they're no longer in the SoCon, of course, but they had one player, an offensive tackle named Olai Udo, I the Vikings. Baltimore signed CJ Toogood to a free agent contract, and Warren Messer goes to the Vikings. Not much to go. Bradford Lemons signed with the Chargers, undrafted free agent. Doesn't mean he'll make the team. In fact, the Chargers signed 19 free agents. But still, he was one of the first signings. And in fact, there is some talk, for instance, making, teams and such. We mentioned having more commitments than others. ETSU loves to tell everybody that they're better than Kennesaw State. That 56-16 debut really hurt them. But then the Owls overlooked them the next year. They went down to Kennesaw. I think last year the Furman game would have outdone the revival, the beating Kennesaw State, the revenge game. But the Owls clearly took the Buccaneers off and lost in overtime. But ETSU loves to brag on that victory, And hey, we're in the FCS conference contracts. Justin Sumter, LA Rams. He's a wide receiver from the Owls. Darnell Holland, running back. He leaves Kennesaw State and will have, he'll be in camp. He'll have a legitimate chance, I guess, to make the Saints. Will Kennesaw State's Darnell Holland. Other players from the SoCon. Wide receiver Ahmad Gooden, defensive end. Now, probably the most talked about player in the SoCon last year, Devlin Hodges. I got bad news for him. He gets a tryout with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, Hodges has not beaten out Ben Roethlisberger. He's not beaten out Josh Dobbs, and he's not beaten out Mason Rudolph. And so unless somehow the Steelers keep 4 quarterbacks or somebody gets hurt, yeah, it's It's a tough way for the FCS's all-time leading passer to go down. Samford also SoCon, which is non-scholarship. Donald Pond. He's an undrafted free agent signing with the Detroit Lions. I doubt he'll make the team. They signed Jesse James from Pittsburgh. But I should say the Steelers and all that free agent contract for the Lions. But no, they have a guy in camp defensive career with the Bulldogs, and now he'll be with the Seahawks. And people are saying he's got a good chance to stick. Ian Berryman, undrafted free agent punter from for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You figure you got a chance there. And their free safety, Marvin Tillman, gets a tryout with the Kansas City Chiefs. Wofford, meanwhile, Miles Brown, their defensive tackle, signed as an undrafted free agent of the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, he goes to the team people like their still no ETSU players who have even been given a tryout. No, Weigel, you would have thought German would have gotten a tryout as a kicker somewhere, wouldn't you have? To me, shocking. No, shocking. Well, I would have thought that Pike or Weigel would have gotten a try. Maybe shocking's too tough. Surprising. I am surprised. I would have thought Weigel or like I said, Pike would have gotten somebody to sign him and invite him for at least a tryout. For that matter, J.J. German as well. So those are things. Did the Bucs do it with mirrors last year? Kind of indicates that maybe they did. Still, though, remember what I told you last Friday. Give it 2 years. Tyree Robinson. Yeah, the player that Randy Sanders slapped. See if he isn't going to be drafted. Yeah, drafted. He's an All-American as a sophomore. Team's best defensive back. See if he's not the first ETSU player drafted since Donnie Abraham in 1996 when the time comes in 2 years. Tri-City Sports Now. More on the draft after this.